Hey guys, welcome back to another Skyrim mods video. This is a short compilation of some great mods I think somehow got missed by everyone. So if you end up enjoying one or two of these mods, make sure to hit that like button down below and let's dive right in. The first mod up today is called Hidden in the Shadows. This mod adds a new perk to your game that will automatically apply when you're sneaking and no light is on your character. You'll gain a new shader that fortifies your sneak, and once you look at the magic menu, it'll also show the perk is applied. The shader is just for extra effect to let you know that the perk is being applied. This mod is based on Splinter Cell based on the description, and works with pretty much any lighting overhaul. As long as you're behind an object where the light can't reach, or just out of the range of the light radius, this perk will stay activated. This mod goes great for anyone looking for a new assassin playthrough, or maybe just someone that's looking for a new cool mod to add to their 4,000 mod list. This new armor mod is called Sasrir Armor, hopefully I said that right. It is on Fuel's Patreon for free. It features a brand new unique unisex light armor that comes with about 4 pieces, not including the wig that also comes with this. This armor also features custom HDT physics, and because it is by Fuse, it's some of the best you'll find on the armor mod. When you equip the helmet, you will automatically equip part of the wig that comes with it, just so that you can still have some type of hair under the helmet, but as soon as you take it off, it'll go back to your normal regular hair. But if you want, you can also equip this hair in the race menu because it comes as a wig and optional hairstyle. Another cool part about the helmet that I found fun is that the wig under the helmet will also change to match your hair color, so it just looks like your hair got smashed down when you put on this helmet. To obtain this armor, it's pretty simple. There's no special quest or really anything you have to do besides have the crafting requirements, and then you can make it at any fort. Moving on, this mod is called Riverwood Timberrest by Ivy, adding a small kind of treehouse player home to the outer ridges of Riverwood. And surprisingly, because it is on the outside, it works with revitalized Riverwood, which is what I'm currently using. I know some people asked me about that last video. This is meant to be a starter home for the player as soon as you finish almost getting your head chopped off and then burned alive by a dragon. So it features the basic necessities such as a tanning rack, a blacksmith table, and a few other stations for you to use, also an archery post to practice your aim. But if you need extra things, of course there's a whole city across from you, so you can just run over to Riverwood. And while this home is cozy, there's no interior, so if you have a mod like Immersive World Encounters, sleeping here will cause things to attack you. Other than that, it's pretty cozy. Honestly, this is kind of the type of home that you add to your mod list without really using it, but just for the extra added immersion that it does for Riverwood. At least that's why I did it. And now a new floral overhaul for Solstheim. This mod is called Freak's Floral Solstheim. Using Cathedral to completely overhaul Solstheim grass, making it lush but also making it look almost completely dead. Of course there's still some green shrubs that you're seeing. This of course is meant to be used with the Skyrim variant to give you the lush feeling all throughout your Skyrim, but it is not needed. You can have this as a standalone. And for the people that don't usually use complex grass, I feel like this mod was made for it because it looks a lot better with it turned on. One thing I did notice though with this grass mod compared to other grass mods in the mashups is that Solstheim shouldn't be a green landscape, and this mod really delivers on that, taking advantage of all the ash that erupted onto this island, and also as well as the things dying from the ash to deliver a vibrant grass with different colors and a wildness effect applied to it. But the one thing that I did want you to be wary of is that at the time of me recording this, because it uses Cathedral 3D meshes, it can cause a bit of an FPS drop, but because the grass is so sparse and spread out and only really lush in some areas, your FPS should be perfectly fine with this. But I guess mileage may vary, but what will really destroy your FPS depends on the type of tree mod that you're using, and me using Nature of the Wildlands definitely does not help here. The only reason I didn't use Freak's grass in Skyrim is because I prefer a green tundra, but this one for Solstheim is a must-have. Up next, another furniture replacer called Rustic Repose, of course by Solstheim, featuring another wonderfully textured and remeshed furniture for the beds of Skyrim. And because this uses base object swapper, it will be applied to beds dynamically, so you may see them in inns, castles, as well as fancy places such as guard barracks, if we can consider them fancy. This mod also uses base object swapper to apply different colors to each of the beds, as well as having a patch for use those blankets if you happen to be using that mod, which I definitely recommend actually. But on to our next mod. This mod is called Fisherman Fish. This mod will apply a new AI to all fishermen around Skyrim, allowing for them during certain times of the day to go fishing, and sometimes you'll even see them catch fish of their own. But they won't always be fishing, you'll still see them in their regular idle animations sitting on rocks, or just talking to you. But during certain times of the day, if you're lucky enough, you can catch them walking over to start fishing. They won't always do it at the same time during the same day or different days. It'll be dynamic, so sometimes you'll see them fishing during a certain time, and other times they'll be relaxing. This next mod up is a new floral mod called Reimagined Flowers using base object swapper by the same mod author that made Nature of the Wildland. The main reason I'm showcasing this is because I found myself using this one, but I never actually showcased it. I showcased Sky King Mountain Flowers, but this one I just fell in love with. Besides just giving mountain flowers new colors, this mod goes a step further and gives every different type of mountain flower a new mesh and new look. And because it uses base object swapper, it pretty much makes it compatible with everything, as well as also allowing for flowers to appear in snowy regions, at least the right ones, like the blue mountain flowers. Now we just need a snowy version of those mountain flowers. This one is me making up for not reviewing it before, but this mod is called Better Grabbing, basically allowing for you to grab items easier. It doesn't apply to dead bodies though, but it definitely applies to items that weren't previously alive. This mod makes it so when you grab an item by holding your interact button, it will be picked up much quicker than before, and follow your mouse a little more close. It will also make it so the item will phase through items that would previously make you drop it if it came in contact with it, or it would just literally glitch out of the map and you'll never find it again. This mod surprisingly also works if you use a controller to play your Skyrim. You can also customize it with the INI file when you download the mod, so you can set your hotkeys, but if you don't set the hotkeys and just use the basic default settings, then you can also scroll in on items by using your mouse wheel, either back or forth, if you want to get a closer look at something without actually picking it up. On to our next mod, a new dragon overhaul called House of the Dragons Season 2. This mod will replace a number of dragons with the dragon models that you would see in House of the Dragons if you still watch that. Sunfire will replace the normal elder dragon. These mainly replace the no-name dragons that you find in the wild, like Dreamfire will replace the frost dragon. And of course it makes sense because it's a blue dragon. Well, because these replace the non-unique dragons, you will see these quite often, especially the silver winged dragon, which will go and replace the legendary dragon that in my opinion starts to spawn way too early in vanilla Skyrim. And if you're wondering, these dragons are not normally this big. I am using majestic dragons, which is a separate mod that makes their wingspan a lot bigger than what they actually start as in Skyrim. And of course, moving on to the more unique version of the dragon, which is Moon Danger. These will replace the blood dragons in Skyrim that generally start spawning after level 18. And these are definitely my favorite of the two because it looks like the dragon has a mohawk. At least in my opinion it does. But this does replace one named dragon, which is Parthenax. But Parthenax is really the only named dragon that is replaced. The rest of them are for the non-unique dragons, which kind of makes sense. This mod is called HFS Barrels all in one. Combining all of Half-Face's barrel mods, replacing the normal barrels around Skyrim with the few variety that you'll see based on the location, as well as replacing the mead barrels in the Haunting Brew meadery. And these new barrels even go a step further by adding a new 3D engraved bee on them that lets you know exactly where they belong to. If you don't get it for the small barrels, you'll definitely need it for the large mead cask that no one really ever took the liberty to retexture. I could only ever find one other than these ones. And I think this might be the only mod that replaces the textures of the ones in Sovereign Guard. So maybe this mod is something you want to invest in. This is a pretty simple mod called Exit Sneak on Sprint, basically allowing you to sprint out of sneak rather than having to unsneak and then sprint. It'll automatically turn you into a standing state when you press the sprint button, but it's a pretty simple mod and it works, so I highly recommend trying it. This mod is called Footprints, the Soul Cairn. If you have footprints, even the sand patch, you will never have footprints in the Soul Cairn. So this mod changes that. So now every creature and NPC in the Soul Cairn, including your character, will now have footprints. Of course, that also means now spirits as well will have footprints, which I'm not sure how ghosts work in Skyrim considering you can't attack them. That could be immersion breaking for some people, but I'm definitely willing to suffer through that for this mod. And that was pretty much it for today, guys. I wanted to just showcase a few mods that I found to be underrated, but definitely a must-have, at least for me. But now we're going to go back to the themed overhauls such as animations, which will be my next video. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace and love, guys.